Hey everyone, Genome here. Well, guess what? It appears to be the season for subscriber contests, and who am I to deny the season? So today we have Tony Sanders' 250 sub contest, and he had some pretty simple rules for it, and I'll go over them now. Rule 1, just make sure you're subbed up to him. And he also does something pretty cool and has you sub up to another smaller channel, in this case Kingpin Comics. Alright, so those things are taken care of. So let's get down to Rule 2. Rule 2 is to kind of just show off 25 comics in your collection. He didn't specify any certain types, not keys, nothing like that, just 25 issues you want to show off. So that's pretty easy. So I kind of tried to pick out some kind of oddball stuff, really, for the most part. There's nothing in here that's too incredibly common, I guess, but I mean nothing that's too obscenely rare either. A lot of it's number ones, but I didn't care about being number one or not. I mostly just picked a criteria of just being different. So I'm gonna go ahead and stand up so I can show them, because a lot of times if I stand back here you get a bad glare. Or maybe I can do it from here. But I think I'm gonna stand up and kind of just feed them to you, and I'll kind of call out which ones they are in case you can't see them. All right, let me go ahead and get to that. All right, first off, we got Terminator 2, the comic book. Wow, I mean, T2 was all the rage at the time, and this had a really nice little cover on it too. It was a 3-part little mini-series encompassing the movie, and it was pretty faithful to it. Cool book, cool book. Captain America number 3. This is, hopefully that glare is not too horrible. This is a Rob Liefeld cover, and those who know me know that I'm not a huge fan of Rob Liefeld's art. Nothing against him personally, I never really cared for it too much, but man, he nailed Crossbones in this. It's such an iconic cover. It's probably the best cover he's ever done, if you ask me. But just a sweet cover. I picked it just for that, because I love the cover so much. We have, for the third one, The Thing number 17. This was a cool little series back in the 80s. It kind of follows the events of The Thing directly after Secret Wars. Basically, Beyonder sending everybody home, but while it's found out, Ben Grimm finds out while he's on Battleworld that he can change into the Thing at will, so he's no longer trapped in that form. So if he goes back to Earth and leaves Battleworld, he won't be able, or he'll transform back into the Thing permanently again, and he can never be normal. So this little mini-series kind of explores his adventures and his kind of inner torment and decisions about whether he should go back or not. It's a really good series. I suggest you check it out if you've never seen it or heard of it. But in this one, he's actually blinded for the entire one, and as I recall, a woman, there's some other races are on this planet too, falls in love with him. She can't see him. Next up, we have West Coast Avengers number 69. I picked this one solely because the fight is so incredibly awesome. It's between Hawkeye and U.S. Agent. Definitely worth a read. Number 5, we have The Fly number 1. This was back when Impact was really trying to make an impact on the, the comic book scene, and they tried to get in there. They didn't really make it, but they had some pretty cool ones. I love the artwork on this cover. In keeping with the Impact theme, for number 6, I got Black Hood number 1. Kind of a Deathstroke looking thing, isn't he? But pretty cool character. And for number 7, we have the Comet number 1. He was my favorite of the Impact guys. I liked all the artwork on his series, and I thought he had a pretty cool moveset, power set, kind of a Nova clone, but whatever. He was cool. So number 8, I'm going to have Daredevil number 257. This one will tie in with my next one as well. This is the iconic and classic Daredevil vs. Punisher fight. Number 8 is a continuation of that. Punisher number 10. Once again, a really, really awesome fight. And I won't spoil it for you, but definitely worth checking out. Kind of a funny story about this one is I didn't buy this. This used to be about a $25, $30 comic. Sorry, the light just went crazy there. Back in the day when Punisher was a really hot commodity. So I picked this up really cheap for like $4 or $5 back in like 2005 or so. Just happened to walk into an LCS. What do we got here next? We got number 10. Dark Horse Comics number 1. And this is almost solely on the cover. check out that Predator cover. Dark Horse had such great cover artists back then. And I collected anything that had a Predator or Alien on it, so, all right. Number 11, we have Legend of Aquaman, number 1. I bought this probably in 6th grade, I think, at the newsstand. You know what? It was at the grocery store. That's where it was. And man, I read the hell out of this book. I read it a ton. It was a great little mini. And it kind of brought Aquaman back because he has been pretty much neglected and ignored for a long time. He wasn't a popular character in DC, so for a long time. Next, we got Punisher number 91. And this is solely just because the cover is so incredibly awesome. And I love Punisher. You know, he's my favorite character. Hopefully it does it justice there. Number 13, lucky number 13, Hammerlock number 1. This one's kind of cool because I have signatures of basically everybody that worked on this book inside. They were doing a signing at the LCS I used to go to quite a bit, and they just signed, so cool. Next we have Detective Comics number 651, and I just freaking love this cover. This whole run, the whole about 600 through 700 run of Detective Comics, which just has the most incredible covers. You know, most of these stories are standalone units, but they were just so freaking awesome. Loved them. Number 15, we got Punisher 2099, number 1. This one's cool for a couple different reasons. Of course, this is back during the foil cover days, so this had a nice blue tinge, which was different. Most of the time they had was only red. But also, as in a lot of the other 29 series, this had a really good story to it, actually. It was a kind of a worthy successor of the Frank Castle story, and the man had his family killed, and he was actually a cop, and, you know, kind of changed his outlook on how crime should be handled, so that's definitely a good check out. Let's see, next we have Captain America number 289. This one, besides having a hilarious cover with the editor-in-chief and writers and artists hanging out the window there, kind of breaking the fourth wall, this is actually my famous John Beatty signature. I got this one, wasn't even planning on it. I actually told a story about that in another video, but we were hanging out at this LCS. I'll never forget it. It was this little old guy, and he smoked cigars like crazy. His whole shop and all of his comics smelled like cigars. But yeah, it was just a little off-the-wall place, and we were down there just kind of chilling, buying a few things. And the owner said, hey, John Beatty's going to be in the store later, just to look around if you wanted to hang out. But we'd already bought our stuff. So he went out and dug a couple of books that John Beatty worked on, just so we have something for him to sign when he got there. And John signed. He was a really cool guy, man. I mean, he was just there looking around. He wasn't there to sign anything, but he made us pretty happy that day. So I wish I could thank the guy and give you his name, but I cannot remember that. It's been 30 plus years, I think, since I've done, oh no, not 30 plus, but at least 27, 28 years. Yeah, it's been a while. Next we have number 17, which is Batman vs. Aliens number 1. I mean, just what an oddball. You know, they had everything versus aliens or predators back then, so I liked the cover and thought it was a pretty cool premise. Next we have number 18. It's Punisher and Captain America Blood and Glory. It's a 3-part miniseries, and you can't really see it from there, but it's an embossed cover, it's raised and all. But while I wasn't a fan of the artwork too much in this book, it was such a cool story too. You're taking basically two, well, heroes per se, one of them's an anti-hero, taking two heroes that are diametrically opposed and putting them together to fight through a situation. So it's pretty interesting to see their conflicts throughout. Number 19, Justice number 1. This is from the little short-lived New Universe that Marvel ran. But he was my favorite of the New Universe characters. I think he had a pretty cool power set, like a sword, an energy sword in his left hand and an energy shield in his right hand, if memory serves. I just thought he was cool. Well, I need to rewrap this one. Next up, we have number 20, Clive Barker's Book of the Damned 2. I read and reread this so many times, that one and the third one, and most of the Hellraiser series is actually pretty good too, but these were exceptionally well done. They were superbly drawn, and the writing inside, it was kind of set up like a diary of someone who escaped from hell and kind of told a story, but it was just incredible. Okay, getting down to it now, top 5 or last 5. Number 21, Captain America number 350. I've talked about this comic briefly in the past. It's one of my favorite Cap stories. Basically, what had happened was Cap had stopped being Captain America for a little while. A U.S. agent took over, and he was not living up to Cap's standards, to say the least. So Cap comes back, and he's actually in the U.S. Agent uniform, fighting U.S. Agent in the Captain America uniform for a while. But it's an excellent fight, and you know, anyone who knows Captain America knows that U.S. Agent is far superior physically. He took like a super version of the super soldier serum, so he's like 10 times stronger than Cap and all that, and fast. But Cap fights him to a standstill with the shield, and then U.S. Agent's kind of taunting him a little bit, saying, well, you're doing well with the shield, how would you do without it? And Captain America says, you know what, it's time to prove something to myself, and he throws the shield away and still beats him. So just classic stuff. Number 22 and number 23 are Punisher Wardrobe number 6 and 7. Iconic covers by Mr. Jim Lee, of course. And it's an iconic pairing here of two of Marvel's hottest properties at the time. Wolverine and the Punisher. This was a great little fight. And this was another one I picked up around 2005 along with that other comic I was telling you about earlier, because I wanted it so badly. Oh yeah, the Daredevil one. That I wanted it so badly when I was really into collecting comics, and they were just too expensive. I couldn't afford them. But then they dropped down severely in price. But great little battle. I won't ruin it for y'all, but this is before they made Wolverine completely overpowered. So yeah, it was a great fight, and I'll let y'all read it if you want to. But all right, number 24, we have Web of Spider-Man number 90. This is, of course, is one of the more famous holographic covers. It's hard to catch it in this, but needless to say, there's a holographic cover there. But, you know, it was just all the rage back in the 90s. And for number 25, I have to grab it from over here. Give me 1 second. So number 25 is Captain America number 377. This thing has a lot going for it. 1, I love the artwork. 2, it's probably my favorite story arc of all time in comics, the Streets of Poison one. It's got Crossbones in there, it's got Bullseye in there. It's basically a little bit of everybody in this. But the best part of all is, hopefully I can get you to see it from here. And best of all, it's signed by Mr. Ron Lim himself. So I got this via Chris over at Journo's Comics and Pop Culture, and he just kind of surprised me with it. I had done a comic submission, or a contest submission for him. And I mentioned Ron Lim and that storyline in there, and I guess Ron Lim was coming up to a expo at or a little LCS or whatever, just some sort of signing over where he's at, and he just went out and got that for me and sent it to me. So it was just the coolest thing ever, and it's probably my favorite book now. I'll just even got a picture of him signing on the back for me, so proof of life, right? But yeah, so that's number 25. Anyhow, that video got kind of long. I guess I could have gone through faster, but I didn't want to just like here, you know, I wanted to give a little bit of reason why I picked each one of those. But hopefully that gave you kind of a nice little cleaning of some of my collection. And I can't wait to see some of the other submissions and what they choose to. Now, those aren't necessarily my 25 favorite comics. I just was doing a quick little thumb through. It was like, these look pretty interesting. I'll talk about them. So in any case, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't also forget to head over to Tony Sanders' site and take a look at his stuff. I'll put something down here below. Also something down in the description below too. I'll have a link to this contest page and all. Also, don't forget to go check out Kingpin's comics as well. I was over there earlier, and he had a really cool video about his top 10 comics from childhood. That was a really cool watch, so if you haven't seen that yet, go check that out. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Best of luck to all my fellow competitors, and Tony, I look forward to more good content here in the future. So until next time, this is Genome, out.